Hi everybody, this is Lizzie with Dizzy Lizzie Papery. I almost forgot my name for a minute, so you can imagine what kind of day I'm having. Actually, it's a wonderful day. I have been meaning to do this video for for days and days, and actually I did start it and then realized that I had messed up my mic situation, so I had done a half-hour long video silently, and there was too much explaining in it to let it go as is. So, and the way my brain works, when I mess something up, it's almost like I pout like a child for a while, and then when I'm ready to try again, I try again. So I don't know, is anybody else run into that kind of situation? Today's something different and fun for me. I've not done this before, and I don't know that I've seen it done by others in this kind of format, but I want to do a junk journal dig bin flip through. So I have got tons of little journals that I have made that I would love to just flip through quickly and then post them up on my site, on my shop on Etsy, which is dizzylizzypapery.etsy.com. I will include that down below. And I want to just jump right in. But basically, I was inspired to do this because I made a bunch of these journals, and then I put them for sale in my little booth at a thrift store in town, and they weren't really going, and I wasn't totally expecting them to, because they're mine are a little bit, you know, they're not maybe as pretty as some that, you know, other artists make, and I just don't know if my town or the audience in my town was ready for it. But then when I showed them on YouTube, it's had such a great response of viewers and comments from people, and then, you know, it looks like it's inspiring some people to buy my junky journals. So I want to share these guys. I want to bring them back to make their space in the world, these cute little things that I love, but I've given, I don't know, I guess I was just waiting for the right time, and this is the right time. So I make lots of different kinds of journals, and I love all different kinds of ways to journal. Glue book, art journal, collage. And if you do it from digitals, or if you do it from all authentic, genuine pieces of ephemera, I love all of it. Every single bit of it. I love vintage, I love modern and fun, all of it. And I actually love to kind of put all those things into one. Maybe because I have ADHD, and my brain is like, well, I love it all, so I'm going to put it in one. So I call it eclectic. It's an eclectic mix. And when I first started making the journals, I started from real junk. They are made from junk, and I turn them into books, and sometimes make the covers pretty. Sometimes I find pretty things and I turn them into journals. There's just a whole eclectic mix of things that I do. So there's something for everyone, maybe. So we're going to do this grip through. There's something that I've been calling my greeting card journals, and that is basically just a greeting card or a greeting card size cover that I then turn into a one signature pamphlet stitched journal. And I think there's something like 50 surfaces of eclectic papers that I put in. And they are, I mean, most of the time I pamphlet stitch them, so they have a center fold. This one does like this. And then a little bit of everything. And then some I make that I call greeting card size journals. So they're the same size, but they're made out of different scraps of things. So not necessarily made with a greeting card on the cover, but I still would put it in the greeting card category. This one I made out of one of those floral arrangements that you get in the mail. I'll show you that one, but I would call that kind of a greeting card journal size as well. It falls into that. This one is already on my Etsy shop. This one is a card, but this one I've made with a little bit different spine. It's one I've been doing recently, which is where I tape hinge my pages together. And it makes it so that you can have more pages in a small book, basically. And it also makes it so you can have more full illustrations that you can see without them needing to be folded between two halves of the book. I'm not exactly sure how to articulate that concept well yet, so let me know if you have any questions. But basically this one's on there, and there's tons of pages in this one. And I've done some tip-in pages. So for this one, the card is just this cover piece, and it does have a little tip-in and a little pocket in it, but it's just the cover, and then the rest of the pages are tape-hinged in. And then the back cover is actually the piece of another card. I think it was a postcard, actually. And then there's an envelope attached to that one, so that's the back cover. So that falls into the greeting card category. And then there's, like, this is another greeting card. This is not officially a card, but it's that same size, so it goes into greeting cards. This one is a collaged and decoupaged, I think I would call it, cover that I made super strong, and then I added like a cotton batting and attached it to something, and it has a little bit more of a hard spine, but it is still just another pamphlet stitched. Not just, but it's one signature, but a little bit different shape. But I would drop that into the greeting card category as well because it's the same size. And then this is a little bit bigger, but I think this one's a little bit bigger, and I'm not sure what size to call it yet. But this one would be just a little bit more expensive. This one is on my site also, and I think this one is $12. This one is $12 because of the size, and the number of pages is, I can't remember what the number is right now, but it's more significant than the pamphlet stitched greeting card journals. And I didn't really plan it this way, but a greeting card journal, certainly this size, could be just put in a regular envelope. It would need more stamps, and I'm not sure how many, but you know, as a gift to someone, you send them a whole journal of eclectic papers. It might be, I think, maybe a really cute, simple idea. So I've got lots of those in the makes. And then, like, this one is a greeting card also, but it's a smaller one. And so I think I'd call it like a wallet card journal. And this one I have for $3. And the greeting card journals are $5. The bigger ones, like I said, are between $8 and $14 usually. If I sew on a fabric, it is more expensive, or if I attach a fabric at all, just because fabric costs me slightly more to get a hold of. And usually I make it a bigger, quote-unquote, prettier journal. And so this one, actually this one's on my site, on my Etsy shop already too, and this one is $14. And so this one has two different fabrics here. And then I'll show you some of my wallpaper border journals. This is the Prairie Flower series, and this is the gingham gingham floral series, there's already a bunch of these on my Etsy shop, all different floral covers, and they have all different insides and all different names and embellishments. So there's several of these already on, take a breath, Liz, on Etsy, and they are, I believe, between $20 and $22. So we'll flip through those too. And then I have these junk minis, which are going to be between $3 and $5, unless I have some with fabric, and then they would go up a little bit in price. But like this one, I haven't put a cover on it yet. So this is a $3. It is a mini, but it's 2 signatures, as you can see there. So it's got tons and tons of little papers. It's just a quick project. And a friend of mine said, you know, introduce them to your crowd and put them up on your site and see what people think. These have been really popular with kids, especially my son's friends, who are actually teenagers between 6th grade and sophomore year high school, and they've been kind of interested in these little non-fancy junkers. So we'll show those. And then I've got my calendar page signatures to share as well, which are just one signature, pamphlet bound, and I'll flip through those, and then I'll put those up on Etsy. I have right now 3 of those to share and several in the making. Oh, and here's some more that I'm going to show you today, and some more. Okay. But I'm going to put them all back into our dig bin here, and we will dig in and choose what we're going to look at first. Okay. There we go. So let's see, I'm closing my eyes. I'm going to flip around a little bit, and I'm going to, okay, we've got sunflower. So this is, again, one that's on Etsy already, and it is $14. And it is a tape-hinged journal, which is different than pamphlet binding. And I've done just this cute sunflower on the front, and then this amazing kind of gauzy floral on the inside. I love it. It's a wonderful mustard color. I've included a little sunflower bookmark that I made with collage, and this great soft yellow ribbon. And it is like a hardcover underneath the fabric, and it does have a harder spine that is attached but detached from how the pages are hinged. And we start with a lovely vintage Lady and the Tramp illustration. We've got some parchment paper folded in for collage fun. We've got some antique music paper, a little bit of Wisconsin history mixed in. We've got some My Book House antique story paper, an envelope window, some scrapbook cardstock that I love, this vintage, oh dear, I do this every time, try to remember someone's name. I'll try to remember, but, and I have thrifted or found almost everything that I use. And I was lucky to thrift this. Maggie Holmes, that's her name, who did this scrapbook paper design. It's so cute. There's the other part of that envelope there. Here we've got an antique book called The Man in Lower 10. I love the color and the fibrous paper. 1930s children's book, image and story. A little bit about Pablo Picasso. I like the blue old paper. 1950s advertisement. Let's see, here we've got an advertisement for Solavox, February 1953. And I folded it in, and there's this cool puzzle thing that would have come in this. It's almost like Reader's Digest. It was called the Coronet magazine from the 50s. The stories are very Reader's Digest-ish to me. And on this side, some cool green graph paper. So you can see how the pages open, and they lay relatively flat for you, every single page. And this is how the binding kind of holds, as you can see there. And it's strong. You can mess around with it, toss it around, toss it in your purse. Got some coffee dyed storybook paper. One of the inside illustration plates from Blueberries for Sal. Cute book from my childhood. Some scrapbook paper, some craft paper, of course. That is my favorite crinkly bit. Some coffee and tea dyed paper. Another 1950s children's book illustration, and another, this one is the 50s, I believe. This one is old. Actually, I have it right here. I think that is from this one. It's the most dirty old. I've cleaned all of this, but yeah, this is the one. It was all broken and sad, and I'm putting it in these books for new life. Okay, last printing, 1936. Look at that. That'll make a good page in one too, won't it? So the Elson Gray Basic Readers, Book 1, 1936. Broken and sad. The Blue Jays make it into this book here. There's dirty fingerprints. I mean, full disclosure, those are the things I love, and some of us really, really love. I mean, how many children? My dad was born in the 30s. Could this have been his book as a child? You know, I just love that thought. I love that there's a whole history and story to these fingerprints and these illustrations. We've got a little advertising book about the Cotswolds. I hope I'm saying that right. High Street. Just fun. It's just every page is something different. You know how sometimes you don't feel like you just want to read a whole magazine. You might just want to look at a little bit of the magazine, but a little bit of a book, and a little bit of a children's book, a little bit of a puzzle book. They're all in one. And you can do anything in these. Cut, paste, staple, stamp, tear. There's lots of strength to this too, that you can add lots and lots. Oh, if you're not familiar, this is the tape-hinged. So the pages are all put together with different kinds of tape, which is the most common way that I've been making my personal junks lately, my most personal junk journals. This one obviously is extra huge, and to be completely frank, it's a little too big for I have kind of chubby, stubby hands, and it's hard for me to grab this sometimes, but when you can, it's squeezable, and look at how strong it is. It's holding all of this, and it doesn't even have a full spine on it yet. So like this one has a full, strong spine. But that's what it can turn into. And I put everything in there. My memories from the day, and some fabrics, and some writing, and stickers, and drawing, and painting, and tarot cards, and maps, and these cute stickers, and pattern paper, and here's some more fabric. Here's how I use children's illustrations too, from those old broken books. Lots of pages that open up, and you can make pockets and put your garbage in a pocket. It's just an eclectic mix of fun and something a little bit different than we're used to always seeing. So this one is my Junk Fest January book that, if you watch me all the time, thank you for tuning in again. And this is how it's coming. If you helped me make this one, this is where we are so far, but lots of room. It is the biggest that I have made of this kind, biggest, thickest, and so I'm learning that it's a little too thick. Anyway, you start with this gorgeous little thing, and you turn it into whatever you want. All right, that's one. Let's dig in again. Closing my eyes, and there we go. So this is the collaged cover, and this one does have a bit of a hard spine as well. Let's take my tag off there, but this would be one of the $5 greeting card size ones. This one is very, very strong, this cover. This one is pamphlet stitched, so it's held together with string. And I did the batting underneath this parchment paper, so it has this cool feel, and just the sound and the texture. It's very tactile. And the collage is made of several old book pages, a little bit of fabric, some music paper, all kinds of different things, craft paper. Let's go through here. There's that vintage Disney book again, craft paper with some paint. Lots of areas to just write. This is 1950s Hallmark date book. They used to give those out.
I was correct.
This whoop. I'm filming.
Is your sound?
Yeah.
33. What do you want me to change it to?
71 maybe. Okay. Sorry. This is an old book about die cutting, like metal and plastics. Bending and forming dies. Here's one of those old advertisements again. This one's for Admiral record players. And Craft Deluxe Slices. And so this is what I mean when a book is put together with a pamphlet stitch. The pages are going to be divided in half between one half of the book and the other half of the book. So you don't see the whole illustration on one page, which is why I started tape-hinging, is so that you can get more of those full page illustrations. But I love them both, and I do them both, and the pamphlet stitching is quite tried and true. Some cool note paper. This is an antique book. illustration. Craft paper. And some more fun paper. Some books I put with more illustrations and some are more blank for you to do, you know, more your own decorating. Here's the other half of the Craft Deluxe Slices advertisement. Look at that. I love old charts and ledgers, and there we go. November 1953 was that Hallmark book. Children's book that I coffee dyed. It was missing its cover where I found it, this book, and the front, there's a front portion of the book that had been ripped and torn, and it just wasn't salvageable. But the rest of it, I thought, well, I'll just take it apart and dye it and see how it looks. And I love the crinkly sound of it and the feel of it, and it just looks cool, I thought. Some thrifted scrapbook paper, and that's the end of that one. That's kind of a smaller one. So this is a $5 one that falls into the greeting card category. Next one in our dig bin is this smaller greeting card, which, what did I say? Wallet card journal for $3. And this one is pamphlet stitched. We've got a cute bit of napkin, some very slightly embossed, let me see. Can you see the embossing on that paper there? Craft paper, notebook paper, scrapbook paper, coffee dyed. This was like a cool resume paper. It feels really cool. And there's that stitch in the middle. I think there's only one that's really this. Oh no, there's another one I think that's this size. So that'll go up for $3. A cute little gift to send with maybe a bigger journal. This one I have a flip through on the site already, and this one is again, is this one $5? I think so. $5 or $10. I can't remember. That cute little card. And the My Book House. This one is fall themed. We've got some information about mushrooms here. I do usually stick with mostly genuine, authentic ephemera, but every once in a while you'll see a digital mixed in. But mostly I love collecting old estate sale finds and putting them in these books. Someone's handwritten taco salad recipe. This is an old Reader's Digest book. I love the color of it. The story is Call Me Lucky. Some more mushies. And I folded in a cool page of scrapbook paper there. This cute image. Oh, this was a freebie digital, actually. I forget who put these out for us. Gosh, I wish I could remember that stuff and give them credit. I get a lot from Artsy Fartsy, but I think this was someone else. I can't remember. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Another image from the My Book House. I love the stories in those books. I really love the images for these journals, I think, just because you can then write your story around it. And it can be any story you want. And it just puts a picture to it. Or maybe it'll inspire you to write about the time you went to the park or you know, stood on a deck looking out at a park or something. I'm hoping to inspire something to help you write or think or draw or any of those things. This is amazing. This is one of my very favorite things to find and to share in these books. This is an old greeting card someone had sent. It says, "Thinking of you." Isn't that just the best image? And then she has this note on here, and it is signed August 1945. The handwriting is prizeworthy. And then there is more writing inside, but I couldn't quite pry it open. And I thought the new owner of this book could maybe take on that mission if they wanted to. It does appear to only be glued along here, so you can read it. But then I thought, what if the original owner who put this in her scrapbook was trying to hide a note from her friend? You know, were they lovers? Were they friends who snuck out at night and never told their parents, and the whole story is inside this? It's up to you. Some Halloween kitty scrapbook paper. I'm going to put a little receipt tip in there, some parchment paper for sound, some souvenir book postcards from Coral Gables, Florida. I think it's from the 50s, the 40s or the 50s. More from My Book House. The Golden Bird. I thought that was an interesting, funny image, and I actually wasn't going to use it because he's obviously smelling something distasteful. But the poem is cute. Some crinkled craft paper. And a little pocket I put in with a greeting card and some fun little fall bits there. This is cool. This is old little stamps that you would collect from this shoe store. And when you got a certain number of them, you won something. I just love the color and the stamping on it. I don't remember if there's a date on them. I don't see one. That's a special piece of ephemera, I think. And then this was, again, this was part of a greeting card with this cool dilapidated couple of houses on a country road. And so it was just a postcard, and I attached this envelope to the inside of it, so then you could keep stuff in this little envelope. All right, another greeting card here. This one is $5. I just feel like this one should be maybe more. It has a lot more to offer that I've put into it, so I might up this one to $10. I think $5 is a good price for these. I mean, I've definitely bought some greeting cards cost more than that just from Target. All right, we've got this thicker craft stationery paper here. Wisconsin Blue Book information. Another story page. We've got a little bit of envelope here. Tuck some goodies in. Some tea-dyed paper. Nice staining there. Some more tea-dyed paper. I love these. The color got so cool. And I love ripped bits and just making them into something. Journal paper, little birds and blooms. Another envelope with a pocket. Some of my painted scraps. Got a fantastical centerfold on this one. Little whimsical mushy cabin. More of my painted page. And the other side of this envelope is open like this, and then it has the windows. Another envelope, pocket side. This one's pretty plain, isn't it? So you can, tons of space to do with as you like. All right, let's get one of those minis, I think. Okay, so this was the Cuisinart. I can kind of show these both. This was the first one I ever made, and I made it out of, it was my dad's, and he had taken these old paper clips from his office when he retired. He took his old paper clips, and he took his old stapler and the staples that go with it. And when I used the last paper clip, I turned the box into a book. So I think it's vintage. I'm not sure how old. I've not been able to properly identify that, but again, I have stitched in 2 wonky signatures. I just love these little guys. And I've not dressed it up hugely. We've got some antique paper here. It's from an envelope, foreign, I think from France, the envelope came from. Got some coloring pages that I took part of the box from the cover and turned it into a little kind of pocket there. This is some of that fabric ribbon, if you've ever seen that. It makes a great page, and stickers stick to it. More of that Hallmark date book. Some notebook paper. This was a great, it looks like a piece of stationery, but it's actually part of a children's book, a Peter Rabbit book. It was kind of just the border of some pages. But I thought, I can use that. This was a teeny tiny little address book that I got at an estate sale, and the pages were just the perfect size for a book like this. Some tea-dyed story paper. I think this was one of my old books. There's the other side of that address book. Lots of plain pages to just use your imagination. Let's see, this one was 1952. This was a free digital from someone I can't remember again. I'm so sorry. Not that I can't remember who they are. In fact, I can picture her, but the name escapes me. I used to be so good about that. Another little pocket made out of the box fold. Some more note paper and coffee dyed paper and craft paper. Ooh, I threw some map in here. And some construction paper. And that's that. Look at that little guy. Isn't that cute? So I call these junk minis, and they are $3. Here is the Cuisinart one. 2 signatures. Here, we'll flip through. This one has several different kinds of paper here, part of a brochure. Some note papers. This was an oven baked paper. Architecture book. Newspaper. Storybook. Here's that architecture book again with a flip out. Oh, this was cool. This was a catalog of hat pin inventory of someone's where they were tracking the prices, and I loved the font of, you know, it looks like a typewriter of some sort. Just thought it was cool. I think this is like rice paper type thing, fibrous. This was paper I dyed. This is a little piece of postcard, craft paper. This is another piece of Maggie Holmes. Ooh, here's a green Hallmark book. This was the oldest one. I think it was 1951. There it is. Magazine page. Illustration by Charles Wasaki. Little Stampin' Up! Postcard. So that one would be $3. All right, let's do our, what is that company called? Is it Fresh Cut Paper, it's called. And you can send paper flowers to people. This one, and I did make this quite some time ago, so let's see how it's held up here. This falls into my greeting card category. And it does stand. So it, except not with that there. Well, maybe there. It does stand, so it could look like a vase of flowers. Sorry, I had to pause there for a moment again. This one I Velcroed closed, and then there's a little pocket here and here. And I just did some rickrack around and some Maggie Holmes. Sorry, that's my chair. And then the pages are here. This is Reader's Digest story again. From the 40s or 50s, I think this book was. Magazine pages, tea-dyed pages, parchment paper. Actually, that might be shoebox paper. St. Patrick's Day, 1950 something. Oh yeah, and this one is pamphlet stitch bound. There's the stitch there. 1954 is that Hallmark book. Just different little pieces of scraps of paper and deliciousness. This is 1945 biographical encyclopedia paper. And then on the back, I did a little lace, and this is part of the pocket that comes with it, and I just kept that attached and put this lace in, and that's it. I don't know. Is that buyable? I just put a little velvet trim along the edge there. I thought that was fun. Just something different. Okay. Greeting card size, but made out of just different papers. This was old music sheet cover. Sorry, I'll take these tags off. From the 50s, I think. Oh, and this one, it was very beat up, and so I did put some decoupage glue over the top of this, either Mod Podge or something like the Studio Acrylics, to keep it stronger, just on the outside. So the inside is still fibrous paper. I don't know, I love it with the tears and the rips and I did try to salvage pieces of it together. Note paper, got some birds. Got an old map of Palm Beach, Florida. Let me see if there's a date. I don't see one on this page, but most of these were from the 60s. The kittens who lost their mittens. Craft paper, of course. Tea-dyed paper. Page from the Velveteen Rabbit. Summer Days. This is Jacksonville. I still don't see the date there. There's something about how these feel that I just love. So that's another $5 one. Let's see, what's this in here? Okay, so here's another tape hinged, where I've just attached this wonderful piece of feed sack material to the back, and then this is a old or vintage wallpaper. No, I'm sorry, wrapping paper. And then I did make this smaller version of it. This piece of the wrapping paper had been kind of tattered, used, maybe. It wasn't used in my house, but I did rescue it. And I would say maybe this little one goes into the same, well, those are cute together, aren't they? $3 bracket, but again, there's a lot more pages in the tape hinged than in the pamphlet stitched. But I'll show you this one first. I've just attached in some antique scrapbook paper. I love to write on antique scrap paper, especially with like a gel pen. For some reason, it just soaks up the ink. It's wonderful. It can be brittle, though, so it's easier to have it glued to a page instead of folded into a book, because the fold will usually break away. This is a Polish children's educational book. I loved these illustrations. I think it was from the 90s, 80s or 90s. Put this package from some shoelaces in here, and it does open, so it's just a pocket like any pocket. Put a little bookmark in there for you. I could probably dress this up a little bit better. I just taped this envelope here to it and then put in a little bit of the wrapping paper. But then this is a envelope as well. Could get a little, just to show that you could tuck anything in there. I did a little tip-in of some flowers, a 1980s book of the flowers of Scandinavia. This was just some junk mail, some tissue paper that I liked, the toile, is that how you say it? This is from an old sewing machine instructional book that I thought was neat if any of us are sewists. I just stapled in a little tea package here to show how it could be used as a pocket. I love to use those as pockets or belly band. Actually, I'll just keep that sticker with this book because that's so cute. This is famous artwork that I can't remember the artist for, but I just printed it on an HP sprocket machine, and they make really cute stickers. Oh, these were so cool from an estate sale. The gal, as I've gotten to know her, quilted, her mother-in-law quilted, and her grandmother's quilted. And she has quite an extensive collection of these quilt patterns that were put out in newspapers. And this one, you can kind of see the date, 1935. Almost an antique. I just think that's a neat historical piece there. Even if it isn't the whole article, some of us might think that's super cool. Ripped up oven baked paper. This is a Reader's Digest copy that I have. I think it is the 1954 edition. And one of the stories in it is called The Duchess and the Smugs, and my sisters and I just had a blast wondering what that story was about, because that is such a great title. It's an interesting story. But the illustrations to me were far more interesting, frankly. This is from a Learning to Sew book. This is from a tissue box, but I like that. I like to have a little bit of something else in it, you know, harder item. This is, I think, 1930s storybook. I tipped it in for some reason. 1970s magazine. I think it's a Good Housekeeping. You learn how to do these arts and crafts. And I tipped in another 1930s children's book page. Paint chip samples. from the My Book House series again. Just fantastic artistry, I think, in those illustrations. Some random coffee dyed index pages. I love when it does that to the paper. Its own natural art. I did a tip-in of some packaging because it gives another tactile element. This is from a magazine about mindfulness. What a great illustration. Oh, this is an antique book on typefacing. Fonts, basically. It was very cool. And this is an antique Danish encyclopedia. And this was, it was so sad in a, I mean, I thought it was sad, but in a group of postcards that I was purchasing, this little, it wasn't cut out quite this neatly. I think someone had simply cut off the stamp and taken it and left the rest of the postcard. And I thought that was so rude. And I loved the penmanship, the handwriting on the back of it, and you can just tell that it's old. So I thought it still needed a life, and it is pansies, so I put it in the pansy paper book. And then our back cover is my very favorite 1990s wallpaper by Schumacher. So that's Big Sister, and here's Little Sister. So this one would fall in the, I think, the $10 to $12 category. Yeah, this one is $12. And then this one is the $3 wallet size. A bit from Grimm's Fairy Tales. Make sure we're still recording. Okay. Some people have said to me, like, Liz, what would I do with these random eclectic pieces of paper? But as junk journalers, this is merely a vessel, right? This starts to become a collage background, or it becomes just the background for a pocket, or maybe we'll put lace or a doily or a hanky over the top of this, or maybe we'll have some tissue paper that all you need to be able to see behind it is this neat color and this neat font. So the idea is to take something like this and see in it something else. So sure, it is a ripped out book page from a book that the state of Wisconsin gives out free to businesses, and it would, the whole book would go in the landfill if it wasn't used otherwise, and it's not of any value or anything like that, but you can turn it into something. It could become a vessel. And maybe, maybe there's some folks who don't have that vision, and that's okay too. I get it. This is from that architecture book. Some of that great tissue paper. Music sheets. This was very, very old. Ooh, do I have a date? Not on that side, and not on that side. I believe it was from the 30s, if I remember. 1960s cookbook. Oh, the beautiful photos of the 1960s. Souvenir booklet postcards. The cherry blossoms, Washington, D.C. The Capitol building. Again, a piece of an old postcard where someone had cut off or torn off just the stamp. And then I had another piece of it did fall off, but I rescued the rest because I just love the forget-me-nots. And it said, all good wishes for a bright and happy future. And I just thought that was apropos for this sad postcard that was very trying hard to, or someone was trying hard to keep it from living any longer. 1911, from Mansfield, Ohio. It was signed, and health, wealth, and prosperity. Bit of sewing pattern here. Oh, that's 2 pages of it. Envelope. My book house. I don't remember what that story is. Oh, this is a cool nature book that I found with these great illustrations and then information about them. And I did decoupage them so they make a nice strong back cover. The green turtle. Okay, so that was little sister pansies, little pansy sister. All right, let's look at one of the wallpaper journals. Let's see. This one is about ready. I have to stitch it in, but this is its cover. That I did that gorgeous mustard floral onto the wildflowers 90s wallpaper border. Those pages are chosen, they just need to be sewn in. Here's one that's done. This one is already on my Etsy shop for $20. I think this one is called Gingham and Roses. So again, it's 90s wallpaper border. It's got that nice strong scratch-proof, resistant feel to it. Makes a great cover. Here's the back of it. That one has the daffodils on it. Some lace. So this little ruffle and this gingham bit here, which is the inside cover, is, sorry, I have to move my chair there, is actually it was a little outfit that I rescued that had some tears in the, it was down at the bottom of it. Actually, it was around where some of the ruffling was. And when I saw it, immediately I thought, okay, I have this wallpaper, and wouldn't this be great to do a gingham series? And I know maybe it feels more comfortable for a summertime thing, but right now it's rather dreary in Wisconsin, and thinking about summer is just welcome. So I took it apart and salvaged it, and as you could see, some of the ones online don't have these aren't done yet, these are still in pieces, but the ones that I have online of this gingham series don't all have the gingham outfit for the inside. They all have different insides. But these two, this will be blue phlox in gingham, and this will be pink lilies in gingham. This is the roses in gingham, I believe. And then this one has this tall fabric for the inside, and some more of that Maggie Holmes. But I've not sewn that together, so these will get a little bit more embellishment once I sew them. And really for me, that's where a bigger price point comes in, is anytime I have to sew and add fabric, it becomes another part of my brain that takes more time than just the paper. Oh, I just love these. It's got that seersucker, you know, so it feels good. Did some different sewing stitches and threads, all thrifted. All of this is thrifted. She's got her little gingham dress on. Maggie Holmes for the win. Some gingham washi, little tip in there, and another little tip in. This page here is a little bit from Mary Engelbright, and then I did this little belly band pocket here of the gingham outfit. And some little gingham papers there. Floral catalog of mine. This is actually 2 pieces that I did a tab on, but so this becomes a pocket. I should put something in there to show that off. Let's see here. I wonder if I have any more gingham. I do. We'll do this little Joker playing card in there. It's cute. Ah, we've got some Sophocles in this one. Antigone. Oh, this is cool. This was an old, I think, Lee Ward's catalog, which was, you know, the original catalog shopping for crafting and hobby anything. I think this copy is from the 60s. Here's some of that antique typecasting book again. Or, I'm sorry, not typecasting, typesetting. And, well, here you go. M&L Typesetting and Electrotyping Company. So different fonts. Some graph ledger paper. This was from that, I think, Good Housekeeping. Oh, no, it was a knitting magazine. I do still have it. I just can't remember where. Antique book, late 1800s. Hildegard's Neighbors. Broken, tattered book. Has some, it's a great story. It's some of my favorite coffee dyed paper, or tea dyed. Look at that centerfold. Looks pretty with the gingham. Well, you could see lots and lots of space for the imagination to just go wild. Here on this side, I put a little note card in there. There's our Mary Engelbright story. That's what friends are for. Whoop. Look at that. So cute. And then it's just sewn in the back here. Some of these have more pockets and bands in them. kind of depends on what fabric bits I had available. This is also from a little shirt, actually, that I rescued. Okay, so then this prairie flowers. And again, this one is not together yet, but it will be. This was a cool children's book. This was ledger from, it was from, oh gosh, I think a girls' school, and it was what the, like the, gosh, come on, Liz, come up with the word. Gosh, I guess den mother is the only word that's coming to my mind. The person who would go through and make sure that everything is cared for, and inventoried. I can't remember what that was called. Sioux City, Iowa map page there. Just a lovely eclectic mix of junk. Got some Beatrix Potter in here, Velveteen Rabbit in here, some dyed paper. Ooh, more Velveteen Rabbit. Some language notes. I don't know what language it is. I was debating whether or not to stitch this together with a pamphlet stitch or tape hinge it. So I think I'm going to do one tape hinged and one pamphlet stitched, because then you can choose whichever you seem to like better. Again, there are more of these. There's not just these two. There will be more to choose from, all with different insides, all with different pages. But if I tape hinge it, then something like the Velveteen Rabbit page would go in probably like this, so that when you open it, you know, you would see that. And then you would see this whole page. And then you would see this whole page, as opposed to them being divided. And like this first page, you could see the whole thing instead of just half of it. So I think this is the one that I'll do tape hinged, but you can see all the pages. Piece of envelope with some stamping. I think I've probably gone on really long time again. That's that one. Okay, so this one's going to have the mustard inside and the turtle to start. And this one is going to have those pineapples and kangaroos. Oh my goodness. That is cute, the little bunny. K is for kangaroo. Oh, this was so cool. This is a book from camp. From, I think it's the 30s, because it was with a whole series of things that I got at an estate sale that were all the same time period, but it didn't have a date on it. But it was the little book that campers got when they went to summer camp. And someone had written their camp activities: handicraft, archery, and hiking. For girls. How progressive for the 30s. This is cool stationery pages. Beatrix Potter. '50s book about nature and the world. I try to do just a mix of colors and feels, and I don't want it really to be matchy, but you know, in the instance of the gingham journals, I tried to find the occasional gingham thing or colorful thing, and in these I tried to find the occasional floral pages. Okay. How are we doing on time? Oh, we've gone way over, but I'll just keep going. What have we not seen yet? Let's do a calendar page signature. So these I've had, the plan is $15 to $20 on these. And basically, I call them the calendar page signatures because their cover is old calendar pages. And they are pamphlet stitched. And then I usually have a pocket folded into the front cover of them. This is a freebie digital. Oh, here's that girls' home ledger book, I think. It's very cool. Let me make sure you can see. Yep. 1959 calendar that has a pocket built in. Some of my landscaping books. '51 advertisement for American Express traveler's checks. Just a mix of everything. Some Pablo Picasso stuff in there. This is a cool parchment or thick paper, like a resume paper, linen paper. This map is from the 30s, if I remember correctly. Idaho, Montana. This side is upside down, but the other side is not. This is from that book, Blueberries for Sale. Here's a greeting card in the middle. Look at this one with a window already created for you. And my note to you, just a note to say thanks for being so delightful. Okay, here's the, oh, that is upside down, but this is not. I don't see the date on it, but it was so cool. The colors are cool. A little bit of Trader Joe's catalog pages. This was from a 1940s gardening book. Films are fun. Ideal Pictures, 1951. This is the other part of that calendar page. It's from November 1959. I loved this. Here's a pocket on the end page. So there, those are all very similar, except this one I think I did stitch in the pocket. I was experimenting with that, but it'll be a lot of the same papers, or I mean similar papers. This one has some special stamped paper by my sister-in-law. Very similar things. Thank you card. And this one, very similar. Oh, that's the centerfold on that one. Oh, I had started to put a pocket here, so that would come with it. I thought that looked nice. This was a piece of an old card. There's my thank you note. So, yeah, a little bit of the same in each one of these. I love these old Sierra Club cards. I've had a couple on Etsy that have sold already, but I'll put this one up right away. I just love them, and I have several more in my collection to put together with the pamphlet stitch. Again, this is a $5 category. Got Orlando, Florida map in here. '53 calendar. Some old stationery. Lots and lots to play with. All right, who's next? This I would put in the $3 wallet size again, and this is another collaged cover with a fabric inside. I guess I forgot I had this many wallet size. Old cross-stitch pattern paper. I love when it is stained on the back side. Antique envelope paper. (1952) calendar. I love that one. And this one is the pink bow. This one is a $12. And it has got this. This is actually from a valance that I put on the spine there. The pink bow is a wallpaper border. And I've got some more in process that I will be making with that. That'll be probably pamphlet stitched. Made a little pocket there, just simple. This is you know, little golden book. This was tucked into a recipe box from that I got at an estate sale, and I just thought the whole page was cool. And I think it was the pamphlet that comes with, must have been hothouse rhubarb. Washington hothouse rhubarb. Here's all the recipes. Who knew? Packaging. Beatrix Potter. A little tea bag pocket. This is why I love the tape-hinged, is because you can get these just page after page of full spread. Chicken corn soup recipe with wild rice and fowl casserole. Lots and lots of writing space. This was in that same recipe box. The taco seasoning mix ideas. Did it have a date? 1980. And a page like this, you can staple this closed or sew it closed to be a pocket, or you can, you know, use it as it is and open it up and journal in here and then hide it. Now, this was the page that comes with the collector's plate for Little Miss Muffet. It's a cute one. Pattern paper. Map from That looks like Colorado. Santa Fe Trail. I don't think this was New Mexico. Oh wait, Moffett. Rio Blanco. Yeah. New Mexico and Colorado it must be. This is that 1945 biographical encyclopedia. The pages are real thin. These are great to collage with. But they're surprisingly sturdy, too. Antique music paper. This was the cover of the book that was falling apart from the Man in the Lower 10. And I just thought that makes a neat little pocket there if you wanted to tape it, staple it, sew it. And then this could be a hidden journaling spot right there. There's the cover. This was a dyed envelope, and I just tucked some goodies in this little pocket. We've got a very cute playing card with a kitty. We have got the Bosom Buddies story. This was really cute. I'll read it. It was from the National Enquirer. I don't see the date, but on the other side is this week's celebrity recipe, Jane Wyman's kidney bean casserole, or salad. But here's what was on this side. Oh, and this was, again, tucked into that recipe box. In 1946, when Winston Churchill delivered his famous Iron Curtain Address in Fulton, Missouri, a ceremony was held earlier to dedicate a bust of the wartime Prime Minister. After the speech, a buxom Southern belle barged up to Churchill and gushed, "Mr. Churchill, I traveled over 100 miles this morning for the unveiling of your bust." Replied the gallant Churchill, "Madam, I assure you, in that regard I would gladly return the favor." Yeah, I bet he would. Here we go, 1978. From the Speaker's Treasury of Anecdotes about the famous about the famous 1978. And then a nice little receipt. Junk journaling fodder. Oh yeah, this is that. Do I have that one up here? I do. Let me grab it to give you a date. Oh, no, I can't. I can't get it out safely from where I am. Sorry about that. But I believe it's from the 30s. Okay. Book on the Cotswolds. And some scrap paper. That is that one. That one's already on Etsy right now. You get a drink. And I think that is it. Oh, this little one too. Again, very similar to the other greeting card books. This one gets some packaging paper in it. Paddington Bear pages, some old recipes behind tea-dyed parchment, envelope pockets. Lovely old beat-up paper. And you might be the kind of journaler who can make these yourselves. But if you're interested and can't or don't have the time and you're fascinated, that's why I put them up in my shop, because I make them because they keep me sane. And that's important. They bring me so much joy. It is just a labor of love. And so if I can put them out there and help fund my hobby, kind of, but also hopefully someone who doesn't have time or energy to build a little book like this can maybe afford to grab one and at least, you know, glue your stickers into it, or whatever you might need this special little book for. That's what I want to provide. So thank you for tuning in. And oh, you'll never guess, I found a couple more. Here's another junk mini made. The two front covers are tarot readers, and this one is made out of packaging for the cover. That'll be a wallet. I think that'll be a wallet, and that'll be a mini. Yeah. So, okay. I always have trouble saying goodbye. So, thank you. I love you. Please keep coming back. Please comment and subscribe and like if you wish, if you enjoyed this. And let me know if there's something you'd like to see. Also, let me know which one of these you might be most interested in, so I can be sure to get that up on my Etsy faster than the others for you. Have a beautiful Saturday evening, and thank you again. Bye.